What if your beauty alone could decide your entire fate? One moment you're a young girl selling figs in a crowded Egyptian market, and the next you're being summoned to the palace, chosen not for your skills or knowledge, but for the curve of your cheek, the softness of your voice, the shimmer in your eyes. Your mother weeps softly behind the curtains, not from grief, but from awe. You'll become a concubine of Pharaoh, the living god. You're 13, maybe 14. You don't fully understand what this means, only that once you pass through those palace gates, your life will no longer be your own. The palace is silent in strange ways, not empty. There are hundreds of servants, guards, scribes, but silent like a temple before sacrifice. You are stripped of your clothes, bathed in oils, scrubbed until your skin stings. Your hair is shaved to purify you, perfumed, redressed in linens, softer than anything your family could afford. You eat fruits you don't know the names of. You sleep in a marble chamber with girls just like you, beautiful, scared, trained to smile even when they're afraid. They teach you the arts of voice and movement, how to pour wine in silence, how to never turn your back on royalty. You learn that a single mistake can be your end, and no one will mourn a concubine too bold. Days pass like dreams. You wait to be noticed. Some girls wait years. Some never are. One day, a high priest arrives and tells you the pharaoh has summoned you. Your legs barely carry you. You enter the chamber like you're walking into a storm. You see him, divine, decorated, distant. He asks your name. You barely whisper. His eyes linger on yours a moment too long. That alone makes you important. You become his favorite for a time. The attendants bring you jewelry, food, silks. You walk with status. Other women begin to watch you with guarded smiles. Whispers follow you like perfume. The queen begins to take interest. She watches you, not because she's threatened by your beauty, but because power in a palace comes in many shapes. A concubine with favor is dangerous. You start receiving fewer gifts. One of your close companions disappears overnight. You never hear her name again. Then something happens that no training prepared you for. You fall in love, not with the pharaoh, not with your position, but with a palace guard, young, alert, always near the edge of your vision. He never speaks to you directly, but his eyes say everything. A glance becomes a conversation. A touch becomes a promise. You begin to find reasons to pass his post, to linger where you shouldn't. You feel alive again, not like a decoration, but like a person. But secrets don't survive long inside stone walls. One morning, you wake up to silence. The guard is gone. Executed? Banished? You ask no one. You say nothing. You cry only once, alone, facing the wall. The queen finally moves. You are reassigned, elevated in title, but removed from Pharaoh's presence. You now serve the temple, a graceful way of exile. You never see the inner chambers again. Years pass. You age. Your name is still known, but rarely spoken. The pharaoh dies. Another takes his place. The palace changes. You remain, older now, quieter, almost invisible. But those who once feared you begin to seek your wisdom. You are no longer a rival. You are something stranger, a woman who survived. They bring you gifts again, not of seduction, but of respect. The new concubines whisper your name like a charm. You smile, but never telling your secrets. And still, when you close your eyes, you remember him. The way he looked at you. The love that no title, no palace, no power could ever replace. Centuries pass. Your story becomes legend. Historians may never know your name, but in the hidden rooms of forgotten palaces, in carvings only few understand, your memory lingers, like the scent of lotus, never gone. Now imagine yourself not in Egypt, but in medieval Europe, standing in a massive stone hall filled with feasting nobles. You're 16. You've been promised in marriage since you were 12. Your groom is double your age. You've never spoken to him alone. Tonight is your wedding, and while the guests drink and sing, you feel your hands trembling, not from excitement, but from what you know comes after, the bedding ceremony, a tradition older than your grandmother. After the wedding feast, you're not left in privacy. Instead, the nobles escort you both to the chamber, laughing, cheering, some drunk, others morbidly curious. Your gown is loosened not by your husband, but by noble women who pull the sleeves down like it's part of the entertainment. They place you in bed. The priest gives his blessing, and the crowd slowly retreats. But not all of them. Some stay behind, to observe, to ensure, because in this world, your value is proven not by love, but by blood. Tomorrow, a sheet will be shown. It must be stained. It must say you were pure. If not, shame falls not only on you, but on your entire house. You lie next to a man you hardly know, his hands shaking just as much as yours. Not because of nerves, but pressure. This isn't about connection. This is about performance. For family, for legacy, for land and alliances. The morning arrives. Servants carry the linen like it's holy. Guests cheer. You are now a wife, no longer a girl, no longer yours. But marriage brings its own weight. You're expected to manage the household, bear children, maintain appearances. And though the ceremony is behind you, the whispers remain. Some say you didn't look afraid enough. Others say your husband smiled too wide. Every detail becomes gossip. Every sigh is signal. You begin to understand that power in this world doesn't lie in swords or crowns, but in reputation. And survival means mastering silence, controlling your gaze, learning when to cry and when to stay still. You learn the court's language without ever raising your voice. You flatter the right women, listen to the right rumors, walk just one step behind your husband. And when your first child is born, a boy, you are praised, but not for your pain or your strength or your endurance. You are praised for producing an heir. You smile through it, because now you have leverage. And in this world, leverage is everything. But deep down, you never forget that first night, when you were undressed by strangers, watched like cattle, judged like property. You never forget how cold the sheets were, or how loud the silence sounded. And maybe, just maybe years later, when a new bride trembles before her own bedding ceremony, you take her hand gently and whisper, "You will survive," just like I did. You wake up to stabbing pain in your jaw. It spreads through your face like fire, pulsing behind your eyes, down your neck. You try to chew but can't. The village healer tells you it's a punishment from the heavens. Others say a demon has taken hold of your tooth. But there is no time for theories. The pain is real, and it is growing. The only man who can help is the barber surgeon. His hands reek of old wine and iron. He cuts hair in the morning and pulls teeth in the afternoon. His tools are stained, used on sheep, horses, and humans alike. You sit on a wooden stool, gripping it until your knuckles turn white. He doesn't ask questions. There is no water, no herbs to calm your nerves, no cloth to bite. He just says, "Stay still." And then he yanks. You scream so loud the pigeons scatter from the rooftops. You feel your tooth leave your body like it's being ripped from your skull, dragging something inside you with it. Blood pours down your chin. The pain doesn't stop, it changes. A deep, throbbing burn replaces a sharp sting. The barber wipes his hands on his apron, drops your tooth in a bucket with others, and tells you to rinse with vinegar. You're lucky. You didn't die from the infection. Many do. Some lose parts of their jaw. Others go blind from abscesses. Tooth decay isn't just painful. It's deadly. And it's everywhere. People chew coarse bread filled with stone dust from grinding wheels. Even nobles, with their honeyed wines and roasted meats, suffer rotting gums by their 30s. There are no toothbrushes, no floss. Instead, people chew mint leaves, rub ashes on their teeth, or rinse with urine. Yes, human urine, believed to kill pain and cleanse. You try clove oil once. It helps for a moment. Then the pain returns. A priest gives you a bone charm and tells you to pray to St. Apollonia. Her teeth were torn out by Roman soldiers, and now she's the patron of all who suffer the same fate. You wear the charm, but deep down, you know it won't help. In the city, nobles wear fake teeth carved from ivory, bone, or even other people's teeth. But those are luxuries. In the countryside, your options are simpler. Pliers or death. You stop smiling. You stop eating certain foods. You age before your time. And when your daughter comes to you one day with a swollen cheek and tears in her eyes, your heart breaks. Not because she's in pain, but because you know what comes next. This is life in the Middle Ages. No mercy for the weak. No comfort for the aching. Only grit, prayer, and survival. But not all lives are spent in stone villages and wooden chairs. Far to the east, across endless grasslands and under skies so vast they seem to swallow the world, there lives another people. Riders, warriors, hunters. The Mongols. You are born on the steppe. Wind and earth shape your body. Your family lives in a round felt yurt that moves with the seasons. Your father trains horses. Your mother churns milk. You learn early that life is harsh, but freedom is everything. You don't eat bread or fruit or sweets. You eat what your animals give you: milk, meat, fat, blood. In the morning, you drink arag, mare's milk fermented, until it's sharp enough to make your lips sting. You chew dry meat that's been stored under saddles for weeks. You drink salty broth from boiled organs. Everything is boiled, smoked, dried. No waste. No luxury. Food isn't a ritual here. It's survival. When warriors ride to war, they carry nothing but dried meat and cheese, some slit a vein from their horse, and drink warm blood to stay alive and wild. When they stop for the night, they dig holes, tossing meat, covered with earth and coals, and let the fire do its work while they sleep. Efficiency is the rule. No forks, no plates, no servants. Just fire, hands, and hunger. When the Khan throws a feast, it's different. Hundreds of men gather. Horses are roasted whole. The fat is honored. The broth is thick. Women prepare the food with precision. You help your mother boil stones in leather pouches to make soup. You mash curds, skim cream, and dry liver under the sun. You don't follow recipes. You follow instinct passed from mother to daughter. Food is more than fuel, it's language. If a guest enters your tent, even a stranger, you must feed them. Refusing is dishonor. Feeding is sacred. You once watched your father give the last piece of meat in winter to a messenger. His hands trembled from hunger, but he smiled. That's the way. Some foods are for warriors only. Some are for women after childbirth. Some are forbidden when the stars shift. And when a great leader dies, you boil a whole sheep in his honor, offering the bones to the sky spirits. You never forget that your people live close to the edge. One bad storm, one lost herd, and you starve. But your body grows strong. You ride horses without saddles. You drink milk straight from the source. You never crave sugar or pastries. When a Chinese merchant offers rice, you smile politely, but your mouth remembers dried mutton. That is the taste of home. Your brother goes off to war with Genghis Khan. He returns months later with silver, silks, spices. But the first thing he asks for is a bowl of bone broth. That's what the empire runs on. Not gold or castles, but on the blood and milk of the steppe. As you grow older, you pass your skills to your daughters. How to ferment, how to gut, how to preserve. You teach them not to waste a single bone. You tell them food is not just nourishment. It is history, memory, identity. And when you sit outside your yurt at dusk, the smell of boiling meat in the air, horses grazing, fire crackling, you understand something that those in cities never will. You are rich, not in coins, not in silk, but in strength and tradition, in the knowledge that you need nothing but the land, the sky, and the herd. From a bleeding tooth in a muddy village to a spoonful of fermented milk in the vast Mongol plains. This is what survival looked like in the past. Brutal, raw, real. Whether you were wincing under iron pliers or slicing meat under open skies, one truth bound all lives together. Eat, endure, and live to see another day. Because in those times, pain was common, comfort was rare in every meal. Whether forced down through swollen gums or cooked over open flame, was a reminder that life, no matter how short or savage, always hung by the thread of resilience.